Today I'm going to walk you through how to build a lifestyle business and how to keep growing your income, keep growing your results, and keep growing your impact while also building the lifestyle you started this business for in the very first place. If you're in the place of signing clients, making some good money, having some good months here and there, but you know that this business is either not giving you the real lifestyle and sustainability that you started this for, your income is not super consistent, it's just not giving you the freedom you started this for, you're just really overworked, or you're on the flip side, really seeing that you're wanting to grow, but you just don't have the capacity to grow at the moment and your schedule is just jam-packed, you couldn't see how you could possibly grow this is the video for you, because we're going to be talking about how to build a really sustainable lifestyle business where actually you have a really simple schedule, your income is really consistent, and this business is really supporting your life. So I'm going to be walking you through my 3-step process that I go through with all of my one-to-one clients to really shift the trajectory of their business from working a lot and not making the amount of income you're wanting to make to actually making more and working less at the exact same time. These are the exact 3 steps that I go through with all of my one-to-one clients. This is what gets them the incredible results. I'm going to be walking you through that 3-step process today so you can see what I actually do with my clients, what are the big shifts we actually are making behind the scenes, and how you can actually implement this yourself. So the very first pillar is simplify your business. And this is one of the most important ones, but it's the one people skip over the most. And that is the fact that you have so much on your plate right now is the whole reason why you can't grow. It is impossible to grow your business if you are constantly working every minute of the day, if you are feeling really exhausted, if you don't even have the time and mental energy to even think about growth and decide where you're going to be focusing to grow or that new offer or refining things. You just don't have the time. So we need to simplify things first of all. And also, you're probably in that stage where you are actually spending so much unnecessary time on things that aren't getting you results, could be done in a simpler way. So really here, we're just looking at, okay, where is your time and your energy going? And let's refine this. So actually, we're simplifying drastically what you need to be doing for your business to run and operate at its current level. If you are really feeling like you're just spinning your wheels, you're just constantly hopping between different tasks, you have so many things on your plate and it's feeling like it's just a lot essentially for you, this is exactly the step that you need to be starting with. So what we really do in this first step is we take a big zoom out. So this huge step back and we want to look at your entire business with a bird's eye approach and find where there is room to simplify things. By this, we mean cutting down on time and energy going towards certain activities and figuring out where there is time and energy just being really lost, and also where we shouldn't even be doing certain things in the first place and where we're just essentially leaking time and energy there. So we really want to look at the business as an overall bird's eye here. And one of the big exercises I'll do with clients is actually looking at, okay, the result which we're measuring at the moment, which could be monthly recurring revenue, it could be cash coming into the business, whatever your result that you're really measuring at the moment that you're wanting to increase, what out of that is being produced by what? So looking at, for example, the YouTube videos that you're posting each week, what is the actual return on that? What are you actually getting from that? Have you actually got any leads from these videos? Are they actually moving the needle for you? Versus, for example, your Instagram account where you're posting 5 times a week. What is the impact of that? How many leads have actually come from Instagram? How many of your clients recently have actually said that they found you through your Instagram versus your YouTube, for example? These are really important questions to be asking to see where you can actually simplify intentionally, because the point of this isn't that we come in and we just chop off 50% of the business essentially and then cross our fingers and hope for the best. We're really looking to see where is the impact coming from? Where is actually moving the needle? Where are the results really coming from? And then it's the other areas that we really need to be cutting back on and either delegating, deleting, or just shifting how you're showing up for those. So take a good hard look at just everything in your business that is moving you towards making sales, for example, if that's the metric we're tracking here, and what is actually moving the needle and what areas aren't really doing much. A really helpful way to see this is if you're looking at, okay, I have all of these different areas I'm spending across my marketing, for example. How much time on the average week are you putting into each of those? Is it 1 hour in area A? Is it 3 hours in area B? Is it 4 hours in area C? How much time is actually going into each of those? And then also, if you were to rate the impact of each of those, what number would you assign that as well? And that's where we can start to see the difference, because those numbers should be pretty close. If it's a 4 in terms of time that we're spending, for example, but it's a 10 in terms of the impact, and it's the most impactful thing you can be doing, we want to be spending more time actually in this area. We want to be leaning more into this, but if we don't have time because we're wasting it on things which are a 1 impact, then obviously we don't have time for that area. So really look at, okay, what is not moving the needle? What is not getting the impact for me? What do I just need to really cut or shift? And it could be something that it's just not effective right now because my messaging's wrong, my way of getting it out, it's not really working, I'm not getting the visibility, etc. So if we think we can shift that, we can absolutely do that. But the whole job here is just to kind of be a little bit ruthless and just cut where your time is going. One of the biggest questions I'll have with clients here as well, just because they are so in the business, right? We're so in our own businesses that it's hard to see this really objective bird's eye picture a lot of the time. One of the questions I'll have a lot with clients is, okay, what does move the needle? I don't even know what does. And with that question, if I was to tell you to, okay, sign a new client next month, for example, what is the way that that would happen? What's the most likely route they would come in? If you can't answer that question, that's the time to have a look at your data and see, okay, where have my clients come in? What has made me sales? Where have most of my leads come from? Where has, most of my new audience members actually come from? And actually look at the data here and see what is really working for you so you can see where to simplify, but strategically, so it doesn't feel like we're just chopping off 50% of the business. Instead, it feels like we're really saving time in the areas that matter so that we can spend a bit of extra time in the areas that are moving the needle. But actually, we're still overall working less than we were before, even though we're being more effective because we're spending more time in the area that really does move the needle here. And the crazy thing is, so many people will come to me saying, I really want to grow. I really want to increase my income. I want to be serving more clients. But their business feels so heavy because there's so many pieces to it. And actually, if we can simplify, it makes it easier to grow. It's just lighter. It's easier for us to lift this up, right? So actually thinking about it from that perspective too, if it's not just about the tasks, but also if you've got 20 different offers, it's going to be pretty damn hard to be focused in terms of when you're growing. But if you've got one offer that you're growing with that you know is your most effective, you know people love, you know really works, and we can refine and scale this offer, that's a whole different story. It's so much easier for you to grow. So a lot of this as well with my clients will be about, okay, let's simplify how you're doing things so your business model is as simple as possible. You're showing up on one core platform. There's a really clear route that people are coming in from. It's clear for you to get leads. It's really clear process for you to then actually sell to those leads. People are consistently coming in. They're coming into 1 or 2 offers. It's just such a simpler business and it's so much easier to grow that. Now, the second pillar to talk about here is reach your next income level and do it consistently. Now, this is really important part that we add on at the end here, and I'll tell you why in a second, but that first piece was really talking about, okay, let's simplify, let's clear out the junk essentially, let's get you really focused so you can take back 10 hours a week, for example, and also know that your time is going to the most effective areas to allow you to actually grow. So suddenly we've got all this spaciousness, everything feels easier, everything feels lighter, and the business is just 10 times simpler maybe than it was before. And now we're getting to, okay, I know I'm wanting to increase my income. How do I get my income up to this next level? And how do I keep it there as well? Because there's so many business owners who they can have one really great month. They know how to create one really great month, but doing it consistently, that's where we get stuck. And that sucks because one great month doesn't really do much for you. It's a great cash injection, but it doesn't really do much. What really makes an impact on your actual life and changes your life is when you can have consistent income coming in and you know that you've locked in 5K months, for example, for the whole year. That is something which can change your life versus one 10K month out of the blue and starting next month from 0 again. So this piece is really about not just getting you to that next income level, but keeping you there and making it more reliable, consistent, and predictable than it ever has been for you. Now, in this step, we're using a lot of that information which we gathered in that first piece. So the first piece, when we were simplifying, one of the questions I asked you was, okay, what is really working well for you right now? That's really important for you to know because firstly, it helps you to simplify your focus. But secondly, we can pull it into this second pillar and actually use that to get you to your next income level. Because if we can see that, for example, you are currently spending 2 hours a week on your most effective marketing channel, and that is the one where 90% of your clients have come through, what if we were to spend a little bit more time there? What if we were to double that? Would we maybe increase the number of clients coming in? We probably would, and you would see a massive increase in how many people are signing up. So what's really helpful about this is not just using that information to get you to your next income level, but to make it predictable. Because if we can really look and we can see that, okay, by me doing one launch event, for example, each quarter, I know on average I'm going to tend to sign up this many people, we can start to make this a little bit predictable, right? Because we can really see that these certain actions are getting me these certain results. If I increase these actions, I'm probably going to increase these results here. And we can see almost reverse engineering what it takes to create those results. So if we know we wanted to get you to consistent 5K months, we can almost see what a 5K month would look like, what actions it would require, and then we just need to make those consistent. And this is the step where we get really, really strategic with your marketing and your sales, of actually focusing on what is going to bring in leads and sales for you consistently, because the 3-step sales process I talk about of audience, leads, sales, if we have a consistent flow going through all of these, that's when your income becomes consistent. And a lot of the time, if we're missing one of those, so, we have the audience, we're sometimes getting sales, but we don't really have leads coming in consistently. If we can see that there's that gap, then of course our income isn't going to be consistent because we've got this big gaping hole in the middle. Whereas actually, if we can fill that, it makes it easy for this to be predictable. Your income can actually be predictable, and you can lock this in months in advance as well, because you're focusing on not just the right areas, but you know how to create that income as well. This is what makes the world of difference, because I know so many entrepreneurs who have one really great month, then burn out and just panic, and their business doesn't feel stable. And that sucks. That's not what we started entrepreneurship for. We wanted something where we felt excited about our income. And part of that comes with having a really stable foundation, right? We need something underneath us to really support us as we are just living our day-to-day lives, and gives us that stable paycheck feeling, which you can absolutely create as an entrepreneur. So this is why this second step is so important with my clients, of not just making things feel easier and helping them to work less, but actually making more and locking this in so it's consistent month after month in a really, really predictable way. And the third pillar is building a freedom-filled business. Building the business that you actually wanted. So this is where we get to focus on the long-term vision. Now that we've finally actually got the time and space to be doing that. So often as entrepreneurs, we are living in the day-to-day. We're just head down, in the moment, what is the next thing that needs to be doing, putting out fires, and actually we don't get this time to really look at the architect, almost the big long-term vision of the business, of what is the impact I'm actually wanting to create? What is this big shift I'm wanting to have? What is the offer that I would actually design, knowing I have this stable foundation underneath me? And this is why this is the third step and not the first, because so many people talk about vision, and module 1 of so many courses will be, okay, let's map out your vision. And yes, that's really great, but I actually think that's almost the third step in the conversation here, because it's only once you've got that stability from step 2, you've got that ground underneath you, you've got that rock solid floor of, I know my income's consistent and I'm good. Anything else is extra on top of that. It's just icing on the cupcake. And from step 1, we've got that time and we've got that energy to be able to think about these things in the first place. When you've got those two things, thinking of the vision becomes really, really easy. And so much of the time, our vision and that question when we get asked, what is the long-term vision? What is the business we're wanting to build? We'll shape it on kind of those different pieces if we don't have them, based on, okay, right now I'm feeling like my time is so such, so I just want a scalable offer. I just want something which is passive. I just want to step away from it all. You don't actually want to step away from it all. You're just really burnt out because you're working 24/7. So once we fix that first area, that's not a problem anymore, and we can actually get to the heart of what is true really for you. Same with the second area. If you don't feel like your income is consistent and stable, you're in a panicky mindset. You're in a bit of fight or flight, right? So you're actually then making decisions in that third step of what is my vision based on that. So this is why we do those two things first. Then we get to architect the actual vision for this business. And this is where you get to build something truly incredible, because at this stage, we're entering this third step feeling really excited by things, right? We're feeling really lit up by our business. It's really stable. The income's really coming in. It's consistent. It's feeling really good. We know exactly how to create a really big month. We have really, it feels so much more in your control. And then you're able to architect, what do we want this business to look like? This is where a lot of my clients will make some just really big shifts and changes, such as deciding I don't want to offer this certain program anymore, or I want to work with this specific type of client. And again, I can only make these decisions because they feel safe to make those decisions from those first pieces we did. But this is where we make those big shifts that actually are so powerful for just you as a human being running a business, because these are the kind of things which are leading to you creating a business which really lights you up, which just really works for you. And for me, for example, through having those first 2 steps, that has allowed me to actually really intentionally design my business as being one based around one-to-one coaching, because I know that's what I love, and I've made that really sustainable for me to have 5K plus months and even have a 10K month being a one-to-one coach and just purely operating my business through that model. It's allowed me to do that and build something which works for my life, where I literally travel every single month and I'm working 20 hours a week. So these are the 3 steps I go through with literally all of my clients. This is the secret behind all of those results which you see on my testimonials page. This is what allows my clients to literally double their income while working less than ever and really building businesses that are fully aligned with them. This is the way to a lifestyle business. And this is what I teach all of my clients. And if you are looking for the same, if you are looking for a business which really lights you up, actually gives you the freedoms that you started all this for, brings you in consistent income, and it's just strategic and simple at the same time, and just freaking works and allows you to actually reach that next level of growth in a really sustainable way, I would love to invite you for one-to-one coaching. I will put the link for my discovery call application in the description. So if you go to the description, you can schedule a free discovery call with me and we'll chat about your business, your goals, what you're looking to achieve, and how I can help you in getting there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to speak with you about one-to-one coaching, so I look forward to that if that is aligned with you. And make sure you give this video a like if you liked the breakdown of my process with my clients. I would love to share more about that if you are interested in more of that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another new video every single Monday, and see you in the next one.